Jeff's Superscript is brought to you by Black Cat Comics and Collectibles, in my opinion, the best comic shop and clubhouse on the internet. Follow them at Black Cat Burbank on Instagram and join their claim sales on Tuesdays for new books and Fridays for back issues. And don't forget to ask about joining their Stray Cats Club for special perks.
Hi, I'm Jeff, and welcome to another one of my videos. Today we're going to take a look at all the new comic books that are hitting final order cutoff this upcoming Sunday, March 14th for DC, and March 15th, Monday, for everything else. I would ask that if you don't mind, you just go ahead and hit that like button right now if you appreciate this content. I appreciate it if you would. All right, let's go ahead and look at the books that are hitting final order cutoff this upcoming weekend. These are presented in no particular order. The first one I want to mention to you is called Geiger from Image Comics. The description reads, industry heavyweights Jeff Johns and Gary Frank of DC's Doomsday Clock routine for what will be one of the most anticipated new series of 2021 in the forthcoming Geiger. This mind-blowing new series will take local comic shops by storm in April from Image Comics, who are the scavengers of a dying Earth. Geiger is set in the years since a nuclear war ravaged the planet. Desperate outlaws battle for survival in a world of radioactive chaos. Out past the poison wasteland lives a man even the Nightcrawlers and Organ people fear. Some name him Joe Glow, others call him the Meltdown Man, but his name is Geiger. Okay, well, I don't know that it's the most original idea, but it does sound kind of cool. I'm actually halfway interested in it. There's a bunch of covers to order from it, to choose from. If you're interested in this, there's a B cover from Larson, there's a C cover from Fabuk, F-A-B-O-K. There's a D blank sketch variant, and then there's a glow-in-the-dark version of the A cover. That might be pretty cool to check out for this book. I also want to point out that Noctura 2 from Scott Snyder hits FOC this upcoming Monday. This book, for some reason, is one that I think, people should keep their eye on. I wanted to let you know that issue number 2 is hitting FOC this upcoming week. The next book I want to mention to you is a book called Silver Coin from Image Comics. It's a 5-part miniseries. The description reads, Eisner-winning artist Michael Walsh teams with an all-star lineup of collaborators, Chip Zdarsky, Kelly Thompson, and Jeff Lemire on a new horror anthology miniseries for mature readers. Each issue will tell a tale of terror in a shared supernatural world. The story starts in 1978 with a failing rock band whose fortune suddenly changes when they find the mysterious silver coin. Little do they know that fame comes with a cost, and a curse is always hungry. All right, I like writers, and I read this list of writers, and I'm like, this sounds really, really interesting. Considering the writers that they're bringing in to do this, and considering how hot these kind of horror anthologies can be when you're looking at things like Ice Cream Man and Ha Ha, this is not one to miss, okay? I'm pretty sure I'm going to be adding at least issue number 1 of this to my pull list. And it's a limited series, so it's kind of a low commitment just to kind of give it a shot. This next one is an interesting one. It is called Beasts of Burden. This is also a limited series of 4. It says, the 8-time Eisner-winning comic book series blending fantasy and humor returns in a historical adventure blending Japanese and Western occult. An elder member of the occult-battling pack of wise dogs recalls a harrowing mission in U.S.-occupied Japan after World War II. A mysterious curse creates an army of crawling, disembodied heads, which threatens to overwhelm the region. Emery's and a team of canine companions attempt to solve the mystery, bringing them into conflict with shape-shifting tanuki, evil oni, and a horde of vengeful demons. This description sounds ridiculous to me, but it does acknowledge that it is like a fantasy humor series. But the thing that made me want to mention it to you is 8-time Eisner Award-winning comic book series. I am not familiar with this, but you can't just ignore an 8-time Eisner-winning series. So maybe it's amazing. Obviously, many, many people have thought so previously. The next one I want to point out to you is Lock and Key, Sandman, Hell and Gone, issue number 1. It says, if you think you can unlock the gates of hell and just invite yourself in, you must be dreaming. The epic crossover between two of the most beloved fantasy universes in comics begins here. John Jack Locke is 10 years dead, but that hasn't stopped him from posting the occasional letter home from hell. Now Mary Locke will do anything to save her brother's soul, including cut a deal with Roderick Burgess, the most evil man in England, to search for answers in the House of Mystery and risk the walking nightmare known as the Corinthian to find help in a disintegrating kingdom of dreams. Wow, this is kind of cool. If you're a fan of Lock and Key or Sandman, and especially if you're a fan of both, this could be pretty cool. I think that this is a pretty cool and fun idea for a crossover, to take two pretty popular titles and blend them together in a crossover. I just like the concept of it. I'm not a big fan of either one of these titles personally, but I really love the idea, and they seem like they're going to fit together really well, which I think is very cool. The next one I want to mention is Avengers number 44. It is the final installment of the Enter the Phoenix storyline that they've been doing with the Avengers. I mention it because if there's going to be anything significant that's going to come out of this storyline, it's going to happen in this issue. I really hope that there's something significant that comes out of it, and that it's not all just been a story for no reason, just for the sake of having a Phoenix story. I hope that there's some kind of something that sticks in the Marvel Universe with the Phoenix coming out of this storyline. So it might be one that you might want to keep an eye on. Another one you're going to want to keep an eye on is King in Black number 5. This is the final installment of the King in Black storyline. And man, I expect there to be something significant in there. There's already been enough significant things that's been happening in this storyline. I can't think that Donny Cates is going to let this storyline end without it ending with a bang. So I would absolutely, even if you haven't been reading King in Black, you might want to keep an eye on this series and even consider pre-ordering this issue, because I gotta think that there's something of significance that's going to be taking place inside of it. Along with that, same being said about this next book, Venom number 34. This is the last Venom tie-in to the King in Black storyline. And as people who are paying attention to this, you know that, like, in my opinion, King in Black has just been a Venom storyline that spills out into the entirety of the Marvel Universe. So you can't really talk about King in Black without also talking about Venom. And since this is the last King in Black tie-in, I also have to wonder if something significant is going to be happening in this issue of Venom as well that is not to be ignored. Also keeping in mind that this is the second to last issue that Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman will be working on for Venom. So I had to flag it for you. I had to bring it to your attention that it's hitting FOC, because there's a lot of potential for awesomeness in this title and in this issue in particular. The next one I want to mention to you is a new book called Magic the Gathering from Boom Studios. It says a new beginning for the pop culture phenomenon of magic starts here from Jed MacKay and Ig Guara, perfect for new readers and longtime fans. Across the vast multiverse, those gifted with a spark can tap into the raw power of magic and travel across realms. They are planeswalkers. When coordinated assassination attempts on guildmasters Ral Zarek, Zraska, and Kaya rock the city of Ravnica, they leave Jace Bellerin's life hanging in the balance. A fuse is lit that threatens not just these three guilds, but the entire plane of Ravnica. Now these three must covertly infiltrate the wild plane of Zendikar and form a tenuous alliance to uncover why the targets of the assassinations have all been planeswalkers, which will lead them straight to one of the most enigmatic characters in Magic history. Okay, basically, I don't think that you're going to be very interested in this comic unless you like Magic and you like playing Magic, and there are plenty of you out there. So if you are a fan of Magic, I think that this might be a very cool comic book to pick up, especially because I like Boom Studios and I think they do good work. So I think that if you like Magic, you're going to like Magic coming to you from Boom Studios. The next book I want to mention is called It's called Many Deaths of Lila Starr #1. This is also from Boom Studios. It says a powerful new series for fans of The Wicked plus the Divine and The Dreaming from Ram V and Felipe Andrade that explores the fine line between living and dying in Mumbai through the lens of magical realism. With humanity on the verge of discovering immortality, the avatar of death is fired and relegated to the world below to live out her now finite days in the body of 20-something Lila Starr in Mumbai. Struggling with her newfound mortality, Lila has found a way to be placed in the time and place where the creator of immortality will be born. But will Lila take her chance to permanently reverse the course of future history? Or does a more shocking fate await her? This is an interesting, unique concept, and I like the idea of it. I think it could be pretty cool. Might be something worth checking out. Another book that's coming out that's worth checking out, I think, is Project Patreon #1 from Aftershock Comics. It says 30 years ago, the world watched in horror as the Patreon, a hero sent as humanitarian aid from a different dimension, went punch for punch with Woe, a primordial beast and a perfect match for our mighty protector. In the end, hero and villain alike fell, but the patron returned and continues to defend us to this day. At least that's what we've been told. The truth is, the patron died that day along with Woe. The UN replaced the patron with a Reploid designed to mimic the real patron and continue on his mission of protection. Today, the patron Reploid is secretly piloted by an elite team, a team prepared for anything except for the death of one of their own. This is an interesting concept too. I like that there's some kind of new ideas in some of the synopses of these new titles that are coming out this week. So that's pretty cool in and of itself. Although this isn't my favorite idea or like the one I'm like ready to jump on personally, I do like it in concept. The next book I want to mention to you is Resistance Uprising #1. All I gotta say about this is that if you liked the first installment of The Resistance, which did really, really well and was definitely a hit, you're definitely probably gonna want to check out this next volume of The Resistance. And I read the first issue of The Resistance and I was like, this looks pretty cool. Like I said, if you've already read the first volume, you're all on board for this. But if you're looking for a chance to check out this world, it seems like it's pretty cool and it might be worth checking out. The next one I want to mention to you is Green Lantern from DC Comics. It says, as the new Green Lantern series begins, the newly formed United Planets of the Guardians of the Universe hold an intergalactic summit to decide who can best serve and protect the cosmos from danger. With the majority of Green Lanterns called back to Oa, John Stewart arrives alongside Teen Lantern Kelly Quintella, whose powerful gauntlet could be one of the most powerful and unstable weapons in the universe, with the entire landscape of the universe in flux. Is this the end of the Green Lantern Corps, or a new beginning? I am a Green Lantern fan. I like the Green Lantern a lot, and I like the world of the Green Lantern and the Green Lantern Corps. This description is doing nothing for me. I was so excited when I saw that there was a new Green Lantern title coming, and then I read the description and I was like, meh. So I'm a little disappointed, but maybe you're hardcore, or at least more hardcore than I am, and you are all about it, in which case it is hitting FOC this upcoming Sunday because it is a DC book. Remember that. Finally, the last book I'm going to mention today. This is the last book, right? Yeah, this is the last book I'm going to mention today. It is The Next Batman, Second Son, also from DC Comics. It says a new miniseries by Academy Award-winning writer John Ridley and artist Tony Akins and Travel Foreman begins. Readers now know that after the events of Future State, Tim Fox is the next Batman. But what's his origin story? Well, it goes on there for a little bit more, but that's all that matters. This is, you knew they weren't going to just do Future State, the next Batman story, and then do 4 issues of that and say, that's enough. Obviously, they were going to give us a lot more, and this is what is next from that. And it's an origin story. It's going to give us more of a backstory about Tim Fox before, I guess, he became the next Batman. If you're a big fan of Batman and you like the future state next Batman, Tim Fox Batman, this is going to be essential reading for you. All right, so those are all the books I wanted to mention that are hitting FOC this upcoming Sunday and Monday. Let me know down in the comments if there's any of these books that you didn't know about that you're really glad that I mentioned to you, and that you're like, I'm going to make sure to add that to my pull list immediately. I'd love to hear what from this list is interesting to you. Once again, if you appreciate this content and you appreciate the information that I'm providing to you, likes are very much appreciated by me. And finally, if this is the first one of my videos that you've watched, wow, thank you so much for checking out my video. I invite you to hit the subscribe guy, and of course, make sure you hit the notification bell so you're informed when I post new videos. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.